Well, good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening, traders from across the globe. It's Sunday afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to my 2992nd edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar. And of course, that would be me. Traders, thank you again for tuning in. Lots of videos coming at you, especially this week. It's getting busy and we're going to figure out what's going on. What you're looking at is the E-mini S&P daily bar chart for trading on Sunday night through Monday, and that is November 3rd, 2025. We've gotten through October. Let's see what November has in store for us. Traders, I have mentioned in the last 3 videos in a row, is it gap fill time? And what I have said is we do not leave gaps unfilled in the E-mini S&P 23-hour chart. We do not do that. That was my contention, and that was the name in the last 3 videos. That's all my videos were basically about, is I know the S&P. I've been around since the S&P E-mini before it was born. I've been charting it since the day it was born. We don't leave gaps, right? Well, here's where we were when I started that series of videos, and here's where we are now. Look at that. Let's remove tonight. Gaps, you see? Gaps do not get left unfilled on the E-mini S&P chart. Now, it's visually filled. There's just a little teeny piece, like $1.50 between the high of this bar and the low of this bar, and that's enough to call it visually filled. The street does not have to go any lower and fill mathematically that gap. Why? Because we are in something called the sweet, not science, not a chance, but it is the sweet art of technical analysis, not the sweet science of technical analysis. So it doesn't have to be exact. Visual is great. That's visually filled. That gap basically should be considered filled. Now, personally, I'd be buying the crap out of this, but my Omni has waved us off for a day and has told us to go look at other markets and let this work itself out. All right, Omni, I never argue with it, so we will not trade the E-mini S&P Sunday night until Monday, but that's okay. There's always other markets for us to look at. Now, remember how risky trading is. Risky, risky, risky. Never trade without protective stops. Just because the gap's filled and it looks like we can go long does not mean the street won't sell it all the way down to this down here. Or maybe all the way down here. You don't know what they're going to do, right? So you've got to be careful that you don't ever get into a trade and think you are right. Put your stops in. Put them in first. You'll live a lot longer in this business if you don't think and you do. Much smarter than thinking. So, E-mini S&P Omni says just leave it alone for a day, and that's what we'll do. Let's go look at another chart. I think you'll find it amusing and interesting. Boom. Gold. Look at gold. Now, I've had OmniX in my trading room, and OmniX writing to me, Oscar, can you include gold? Sure, why not? Here's what we've got in gold. If you recall, down here we had this pennant. Kept failing to get out of the pennant, then it finally breaks out. Monster breakout into a monster run up, and then boom, CEOs, bigger guys that are influential on YouTube and on social networking, they all came out and made topping calls right here. And I came out with videos and said, don't listen, don't do it. Uncle Oscar and the Omni will tell you when the top comes in. Finally, I called top with the Omni's help right up here. Look what's happened since. Not the time to call tops just because you feel like it. Yes, the time to call tops for a technical reason. Technical reason came in, we called top. Look what's happened since. We are now building an opposite channel of this wonderful channel that we were in all the way up. Will gold continue to go down? Well, here's what I will tell you about gold. You know what? Let's come back to gold. I've got some targets for you in gold, but let's go look at something else. Bitcoin. Now, traders, you know I only mention Bitcoin when it's bullish. Because why? I own a lot of it and I don't talk about it when it's bearish. Now, there's something that you can give yourselves called confirmation bias. It is a clinical term. It is absolute. It's when an analyst does what I'm about to do. You know I'm long Bitcoin, but for the long term, so I don't sell out. On dips, I buy. I don't bother selling out. So I don't see the left shoulder, I don't see the head, I don't see the right shoulder of this possible head and shoulders. I don't see this big channel that's been pointing down. All I can see is that, hey, it held at this average here and it held there. We're bullish, baby. Confirmation bias. So I'm going to pretend that Bitcoin chart wasn't even in this video because I don't want to talk about the downside. We are going to come back to this chart on a better day. Let's pretend we have confirmation bias for now. Let's go move along. I'm out of here. Check this out. Thank you, Omni Trading token holders. You guys are just killing it for me. The Omni Trading. Look what we've built so far. Since the inception of the Omni, it has ran up to a flagpole. Nice flag building. We just started our advertising campaign. It's just baby in embryo stages. I literally over the weekend just created a Twitter, an Instagram, a TikTok, all for the Omni Trading. We've got somebody who's starting to work that. I promised you a liquidity pool, right? Look what we've done. I promised you we'd create a landing page and I would build into this token to make it viable for all of us Omniacs. The way you protect me is the way I'm protecting you. I have not sold a single coin, not one. Here's what I've done so far. I mentioned that we were going to create a landing page, and in that landing page, we give you a bunch of stuff that you can do with the Omni token. Enroll in training camps, get my signals for when we're daily trading, buy products that we'll have for you, join the community. But some of these things we will implement as time passes because we're just building this out. One of the things that's absolute starting and you will have access to is the Omni liquidation pool, where you, I promise you, when you join this liquidation pool, you will be receiving credits and receiving Omni tokens and SOL just for being in the pool. You'll receive rewards. It will help slow down the volatility of the Omni token itself. And here's how I have done this. In order to create this Omni token, I had to purchase Solana with my own cash, then create my token with Solana, turn it into an Omni token with money. Every single token I own, I have backed with cash. Well, what have I done so far with the liquidity pool? I have purchased more Omni tokens at top dollar value, where they are now, market value. I've also purchased more Solana. I wrapped them together and slid them in the liquidity pool, which doesn't take any liquidity away from us, but it slows down the liquidity and guarantees that I am being as honest and truthful and helpful as I can be to this Omniac crowd. If you are long the Omni token, so far, so good. I'm doing all the things I promised you I would do. And let's continue buying. Now, this advertising campaign, it's going to be big. It's going to be all over the place. That pool, once I turn it public, people are going to be in it. You want to get in Omni Trading now before that starts. Now, traders, I promise you, if I was in front of you right now, this was a stock or a commodity, I could never tell you that we're going to start an advertising campaign and that we're going to create and make bigger our liquidity pool, which has already been created, without making it completely 100% public knowledge. We'd all get in trouble for this. But this is crypto, and I'm allowed to tell you what we're thinking before we do it so that you can get in before the rush. I advise you to get in, buy your Omni tokens. You can join my liquidity pool soon enough. I'll let you know when it's going to be open to the public, and I'll build it up myself for now, but this is coming out of my own pocket, kids. This coin was not created out of thin air. It was created out of cash dollars, turned into Solana, then turned into an Omni Trading token. It is as organic and pure as you'd ever want it to be, and you've got my word. I will back it 100%. Get yourselves long, stay in for the long haul. You will appreciate that. Now let's go back because we didn't finish the analysis on this guy. The gold analysis, since the top possibly is in, the markets will tell us 100%. It has put in signs that it is. It's creating the opposite channel. But sometimes a market will put in a top, drop down, and move up further. I'm only saying this. We've called the top so far. Now here's the next set of signals. If gold gets below 3,900, we will see 36.25 with some support levels on the way. I have them written down. I will issue those support levels if we need them as we get closer. Right now, here's the analysis. I'm not saying we're going to 36.25 unless, make sure you're all clear on this, unless we get below 3,900. We are not below 3,900 at the moment. We're at 40.11. We get below 3,900 and you will see a drop to 36.25 with some support levels along the way. You've got to let it break 3,900 first in order for us to get there. Now, this is the way we used to write it on the trading floor, but since it went electronic, you got to remove one of the zeros. I kind of hate that, but it is what it is. It should be 36.25 and 10 cents. You know what I'm saying? Or 00, but it is what it is since it's gone electronic. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you about gold. Please leave your comments. Where do you think gold's going to go? Up or down? Leave your comments. First, let's do it like this. I want you to tell right below this video, A, if you think gold's going up. B, if you think gold is going down. If you've got a genuine target on A or B, then you can give us your targets. If you just think it might go somewhere, well, we're not really interested in what you think. Here's what I have to say. If you've got a technical target, A, up, tell us your target. B, if you think down, tell us your target. If it's a technical target. If you just think because one politician doesn't like the other and the people in China said this, we don't really need to hear that. If you've got a target that you've peeled off of a chart and can tell me why, please vote up or down. Where's gold going to go? Right now, below, everyone can click. A, gold up. B, gold down. If you've got a technical reason, then add your target. If you've got no technical reason, then just give me A or B. Please leave your comments below. Like and share these videos all over the internet. I'd love to help more people out there. And remember, kids, stop soaring. Emotions are rock and roll traders. I will see you all at livewithoscar.com. I hope these videos are helping.